everyone, and welcome to My Organized Life, where I'm trying to get my life organized. If you are new to the channel, a huge hello and welcome to you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking around. I truly appreciate it. So today we're going to be closing April paycheck number 2. I'm super excited because after this, I get to close the month and see how well I did this month. And fingers crossed, I'm really hoping that it's a good turnout because I feel good about the amount of time and effort that I've put into my budget lately. So with that being said, let's dive on in. I do use the Budget Moms Budget by Paycheck workbook, and I bought the PDF version. I've got it in this binder that I've also added some other online resources to. So we're just going to flip to April. So here is paycheck number 2. I'm just going to take out the pages that I need. All right, so I got out all of the papers that I need. However, before we go through and close the paycheck, we've got a couple things that we're going to do first. So we're just going to check in with my expense tracker for my Walmart MasterCard. So this was everything from my first paycheck in April. This was everything from up to my check-in. And then we're just going to update it and fill out the rest for the paycheck. So I'm just going to open up my Walmart MasterCard here and see if I can find this. When it goes into a new month, it's a little bit confusing. So let's see, the 29th was the last time we updated it. That's for $2.79. I'm going to jump to May. So this is for May 2nd. And this was for Fortnite, and I thought I turned my subscription off. I actually didn't want this, and I realized that I didn't, so I should have double checked. So it charged me $15.99, which isn't a huge issue. I did not budget for that, but I will pay that off. So I'm going to double check and actually turn that off. That's a little bit annoying. And then on the 3rd, my Instant Ink came out. So that's a payment of $4.19. Okay, and then I did buy a couple planners. I'm super excited to get these. I will definitely do an unboxing and then probably a review after a month or so of using them, just to see how they are. So that'll be fun to add to the channel. So I grabbed 2 different ones, and it's a little bit pricey for grabbing 2 planners. I'm only going to be using them for half of the year before I decide which one I like more, and then I'll go with that one. But I wanted to try them both out because they both were very interesting to me. I really liked the layout of one of them, but the customization on the other. So I'm going to see which one I like, and maybe if I like both, I'll just use both. We'll see. Okay, so the first one is for personal planner. That was $60.29. And the second one is Girl Gotta Change. And this one was $49.78. You might be thinking that the $60 one is a little bit expensive for a planner, but I'm not sure what the actual price of that was because I believe I got a couple add-ons too. I think I got some sticky notes and another ruler. So I did add a couple other things. It wasn't just the planner for this one. Okay, and then on the 3rd, I also made a payment. So I made a $285 payment. And we'll break that down a little bit more when we do my spending, but $170 of this was from my April savings. And then the rest of it was to cover the planner plus a little bit extra. I just rounded up. It was like $110 and some change for the 2 planners. So I rounded it up to $15. Okay, so that's it for the 3rd. Okay, so then on the 5th, I have balance insurance that came out. I'm not quite sure what this means. I know I agreed to it when I signed up for my MasterCard. I'm not sure what this does. But it's only $5.28 this month, so maybe it's worth it. And then I've also got purchase interest, which I think is interest off of everything I've purchased. I'm not really sure. And that was only $1.87. So that's really low. Okay, and then also on the 5th, I did buy something for the hubby on Amazon. So just gonna go Amazon, and then in brackets I'm gonna put rain. So he wanted a bike seat, a specific one, so we looked online for that, and he doesn't have any room on his card, so I put it on mine. He's gonna pay me back. So I'm not too worried about that. That is all of my transactions. That is like a whole page, so I'm not too happy about how much room I've used up here. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and add this. So here I've got two columns going. This is the column for how much I owe. This is the column for how much is usable. So for the usable, if I make a purchase, then the usable amount goes down. So I subtract my purchases and add my payments. And then for the account, or for the amount owing, it's the opposite. So I add my purchases and subtract my payments. So let's do the owing first. So we started off, so we left off with $709.12. We're going to add $15.99. Plus $4.19. Okay, so that's what I'm left off owing. So let's go over to the usable. So we left off with $290.88. So again, we're going to subtract our purchases and add the payments. So minus $15.99. Okay, and my limit on my card is $1,000, so I just like to take these two numbers. So we're going to take the 607.57 and we're going to add 392.43, and that should equal 1,000, which it does, so we're good there. And since it's the end of the month, we're actually going to go through and see how much I was actually able to put on my card. I'm just going to grab one of my previous trackers to kind of go by. Okay, so let's see, let's underline this. I gotta be a little bit creative because I don't quite have enough space to use for how I've been doing this. So see, we're just gonna go here. We've got purchases. Here we've got payments. Purchases we're gonna break down into needs and wants. And then we're gonna go payments minus purchases. And that should give me how much I was actually able to pay off on my card during the month. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight what was a want and what was a need. And this really makes me look, and if there's a lot of pink there, then I know full well I'm splurging and not really thinking my payments through. So Sev, this was technically a want. This was just because I didn't have my sinking fund set up yet, so I used my card. Which really what I should have done is I should have used my debit card instead of my credit card. I don't know what I was thinking there. Let's see, Etsy was a want. Amazon, I'm going to class that as a need. I was pretty smart with this. It was $57.75 for everything I got. I only charged $7.75 to my card. I did pay everything else in cash. And this was for dog stuff, so I'm going to class that as a need. This was a prescription, so that was a need. This was a want. Photoshop is a bill, so that's a need. Vet is a need. Giveaway prize, I'm not going to count that in this. These were wants. Dog food is a need. This was a want. My kid actually accidentally bought something off of Google Play. I have my password locked now, but okay, this is a want. Need. These planners are technically wants. And then I'm not going to highlight Rains because he's paying me back, so I'm not really counting that. So then let's see, pet value was a need. Need. Prescription was a need. Photoshop is a bill. Vet is a definite need. I'm not going to highlight those. We're not going to count them. Dog food is a need. Instant ink was a need. And then these are bills. So those are technically needs. So I feel like that's pretty even. I could do with a few less pink ones there. So now I'm just going to go through and I'm going to add up all the purchases versus the payments. And then I'm going to add up the needs and the wants. And I'll meet you back when I'm done that. so $606.82 is everything I got for my needs and my wants added up. Just to make sure that these are right, I'm going to add these two and see if it equals that. So $606.82, I'm going to put that on memory. So 426.24 plus 180.58 equals 606.82. Okay, that's right, so 606.82. Okay, so then I'm just going to add the other ones that I didn't include in my needs and wants, so I know that these are right. So 187.94 plus, oh, okay, 426.24. Okay, so plus 187.94 plus 1379 plus 4605. Okay, so purchases was 854.60. This is not looking good. Okay, so I'm going to take my payments, which is $975 minus my purchases, which is $854.60. So I only paid off $120.40. So I'm still in the green. I still managed to make some headway, but definitely not as much as I would have liked to. So and then to really motivate me to do better next month, what I like to do is, if I subtract the wants from my purchases, I would have been able to pay, off $300 worth. But this is still, I like this number. I only owe $600, so I am getting there. I'm really hoping to be able to knock off a huge chunk of that this month. I'm not sure if I can get that paid off this month. I have debated taking the money from my 52-week challenge to pay that off because I could, but I feel like that's cheating, and I really want to save all of that money till the end of the year, so I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. But I'm going to keep going on my own and making payments when I can, and I'm going to see what I can do. But yeah, that is it for my MasterCard for the month of April. Alright, so now I'm going to go through and we're going to update my spending for the rest of Paycheck 2. So we did do a check-in on the 30th. I didn't put a no spend sticker here because I wasn't sure if I was going to spend anything on the 30th or not. So I do have expense tracking stickers that I made myself. So I'm going to be using those to put on here. And then the no spend stickers are by Caffeinated Kate on Etsy. All of my links will be in the description for everything I use and then some. All of the Etsy links will be in their own link, and then everything that I use or am interested in on Amazon will have one link that will take you to my idea list. And from there, you can go into different categories to hopefully easily find what you're looking for. Okay, so here is my categories on the side. So we're just going to go through by category to see what I've spent. Okay, so for cab money, I didn't spend anything, so nothing there. So skip to lunch money. So I only had 2 lunch money transactions. When I recorded my budget check-in, I was sick. So my boss actually gave me Saturday and Sunday off. I had Monday off. I didn't go back till Tuesday. So that definitely made a huge difference in my spending. So I was actually able to spend quite a bit less than I probably would have. We're actually going to flip over to May, which is right here. Okay, so I went back to work on the 4th, so I spent $5.05 on lunch. And let's see, I had 3 hash browns, 3 wedges, and I did try out one of our new red velvet donuts. They're so good, but almost too sweet, and I am like a sugar addict, so me saying that something is too sweet is crazy. They're good, but I definitely won't be buying another one. And then on the 5th, I spent $6.30 on lunch, and I bought 3 strips, 3 wedges, and 3 hash browns. So that was it for lunch money. So next is groceries. So I only went grocery shopping once, and that was on the 3rd. Takeout, I didn't spend anything. Miscellaneous, I did spend a couple things. Okay, so on the 3rd, I spent $110.07, and these were for those 2 planners. So I put $115 from my spending money onto my MasterCard to cover those. So I just rounded it up, like I said. So instead of putting $110.07 on my MasterCard, I put $115. We'll see that later in the bills section. And then the other miscellaneous purchase I had was technically not really a purchase. So on the 5th, this was yesterday, I put $15 in for carbon savings challenges, and then I just put the 95 cents change that I have left over in my change jar because I don't want to include that in next month's budget because I'm trying to make my life a little bit easier, and I actually remembered for once. So that's what that is. I put roundup for some reason, but technically this should just be change jar. I didn't spend anything for beauty, nothing for pets, and then bills. I did spend a little bit for bills. Okay, so on the 3rd, I've got that $4.93 that makes up the $115 that I put on my MasterCard. And then I also brought in $170 from my April savings, and I put that on my MasterCard as well. So that was also on the 3rd. Nothing for sinking funds and nothing for rollovers. So that is it for my spending. So this is what April's looking like. I didn't start tracking my spending until my April paycheck, so I don't have anything for the end of March, but this is my spending for April, which isn't too bad. And then this is my spending for May. So we can put down a few no spend stickers. So I didn't spend anything on the 30th. And then flipping over to May, when I was sick, I didn't really leave the house at all, of course, so didn't spend anything on these days. And then I also won't be spending anything today. Alright, so with Caffeinated Kate's no spend stickers, she has these cute little just no circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here, and I'm just going to put the number of no spend days that I had throughout the month. So this isn't really accurate because I wasn't tracking my spending for the entire month. But let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 no spends. So that is awesome. Then I'm just going to put one of those here too for next month. All right, so that is my spending updated. There is everything that I spent. I really love these spreads. They're so pretty. All right, so that is it for that. Now let's go through and close out this paycheck. All right, so I close my paychecks in a bullet journal, and for the longest time, I've been calling this a grid dot journal ever since I had that day where my brain just was not working and I couldn't remember the name for this. It's a bullet journal. Oh my goodness. Okay, I feel silly. Anyways, I close all of my paychecks in a bullet journal. So the last few months have been pretty messy, but I think we got it down. So here's April. This is April paycheck 2. So we're going to be filling this one out. I'm going to be using my tracking and budget pages from the Budget Moms workbook to do so. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my expense trackers, and I'm going to see how much I spent in each account for each category. So I'm going to fill all of this out. After that, I'm going to add up each category throughout the 3 accounts to see how much I spent total for that category. And I'm also going to add how much I spent in each account. And then when I add all of these together, I'll get a number here, and I'll know that if I add these together and it equals that number, then everything's done right. So it's just my own way of double checking. I have these boxes outlined in blue, so that way I know that these aren't numbers for my rollover. This is just everything added up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back. All right, so let's see if I added everything up right. So I'm just going to add these 3 boxes to see if it equals this number. So 865.45 plus 58.41 plus 576.38 equals 1,524. So we're good there. Everything adds up. So I'm going to set this off to the side. So now let's grab the budgeted numbers. And I think I definitely will keep doing my budget this way, because one thing that I like is that I only have one set of numbers to grab from. I remember before when I was kind of forecasting what I would like to do in the budget area and then doing my actual budget after, I would sometimes find myself grabbing my actual numbers for my budget. But this way there's only one set of numbers to grab from, so that is super helpful. Okay, so we budgeted $35 for cab, $60 for lunch, $180 for groceries, $65 for takeout, $70 for miscellaneous, went over hugely, it's not good. Budgeted $60 for pets. Bills is going to be, see, these are all bills, so it's going to be this number, $307.38 plus $284. So we budgeted $591.38 for bills. And then sinking funds is going to be this number. So 407 plus 75. So 482 for sinking funds. And then for rollover, budgeted 158.14. Okay, so let's see what was actually spent. So we spent $0 on cab, spent $44.10 on lunch, $59.17 on groceries, $5.25 on takeout, $143.41 on miscellaneous, nothing for beauty, nothing for pets, $766.31 for bills, $482 for sinking funds, and then nothing for rollover. So I'm going to figure out the difference here by taking what I budgeted and subtracting what I spent from it. So I already know that there's a difference of positive $35 for cab. For lunch, it would be, I budgeted $60, so I'm going to subtract what I spent, so $44.10. So I was still above budget by $15.90. There is my differences there. So everything green I was above budget for. And then everything pink I spent more than I budgeted for. So only 2 things, but this one I definitely could have had a little bit more under control, but this was mostly the planners, so I'm not too worried about that. I think that it was definitely worth it. I still stand by buying them, so I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm gonna go through and figure out what my income was for this paycheck. So let's see, I actually need this page that we already have here. So my starting balance was my rollover, so that's $433.95. And then my incoming balance is everything else. I'm just going to grab that from my tracker since I don't really include it here. So any income below this line. So April savings, so $170. Plus money from Sev, so $947.57 plus job number 2 is $320. And it looks like that was it. So our incoming income was $1,437.57. So then we're going to add the starting balance. So $433.95 equals a total income of $1,871.52. So I'm going to put this down here. So what I spent should equal, we've got that up here. So I spent $1,500.24. So if we take this and subtract our spent, that should give us our rollover. So minus $1,500.24. So $371.28 should be our rollover. Before we count cash to see if that's actually our rollover, I'm just going to go through and do the percentage here. So how I'm going to do that is we've got our total income, so 187152. I'm going to put that on memory, make sure that's right. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to take my spent. It's not going to be anything for this one. I'm going to take my spent. So for lunch money, I spent $44.10, and I am going to divide that by this number. So I'm just going to hit memory recall. That number will pop up, and I can hit equals. So then I can see that I spent 2% on lunch. Same thing here. So 59.17 divided by memory recall equals 3%. And then I also like to see how much of my income I spent. So I'm going to go 1,524 divided by total income. So I spent 80% of my income. So I am okay with that. This is usually about the most that I want to spend out of my income. I want to at least try and save 20% of it for the next month. So that's not too bad at all. So now we're going to go through accounts and money, count everything up that I still have left over and see if it equals my rollover. Okay, so I already went through my accounts to see how much I had. So that's these there. So we're just going to be counting cash and change. So for change, I only have $1. And then for cash, I'm going to go through and empty out my envelopes, and then we'll count it. Okay, so here's everything left over. So let's see, we got 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 200. All right, so $200. Okay, so then we're going to add everything together. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my cash total first. My cash total should be $201. That was very messy. Okay, so 201. So we can go 201 plus 158.14 plus $17.14. So a total of $376.28. And our rollover should be $371.28. So it is $5 off. And I did have an issue where I had $5 more than I should, and that was, I noticed that on my check-in for this paycheck. I'm not sure where that $5 came from, to be honest. I mean, I'm definitely not going to complain about it, but I was very meticulous in tracking everything. I went back through all of my receipts that I've kept, and everything was on point. So what I'm guessing is that along the way, a cashier probably gave me more change back than he or she should have. And me, I'm terrible with math and numbers, and I don't usually pay attention when it says how much change you should be getting. I never count it. I just shove it in my wallet and go on my way. So I wouldn't have noticed, but that's my guess because it's too exact to be something else. And I think I would remember if I came across $5 somewhere. So I'm going to assume that that's what happened. So unfortunately, my budget is going to be a little bit over, but that's not, I mean, it could be worse. At least it's not $5 less, but rollover is actually $376.28. So it is off by exactly $5. And I'm just going to double check that I'm right, that this is $5 more rather than less. So this is what we should have. Yeah, so $376.28 minus what it says we should have, so $371.28. So yeah, it's off by exactly $5, so I have $5 more than I should. Rain is playing music downstairs. Hopefully my phone's not picking it up, but his office is right below mine, so. Okay, so that's everything in my bullet journal done. This is all of my information. I'm gonna use this and then my trackers to update. So I'm gonna set this stuff off to the side. My desk is extremely cluttered right now, so I'll get some of the stuff out of the way. Okay, so we're just going to update this sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my income here. So from Sev, this was accurate. So it was $947.57. Job number 2 is accurate. I did get $320. My rollover would have been accurate for sure. So $433.95. And then let's see, others. We've got those two. The only other income I had was my April savings. So $170. Okay, and this would have been right, so this was 125. Didn't pay benefits. Technically, I did pay Fortnite Crew, but that was on my card, so I'm not going to include it here. As soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to hop on and turn my subscription off, which I thought I had already. Netflix would have been $15, and Telus was the same. So let's see, none of that changed, so this amount will be $307.38 still. Okay, let's come down here. So cab money, we actually spent $0. Lunch money was $44.10. Groceries was $59.17. Takeout was $5.25. Miscellaneous was way over. That's supposed to be a 4. 41, 143, 41. Okay, beauty didn't spend anything. Pet didn't spend anything. Okay, let's come over here. My sinking funds, I spent the same amount that I budgeted, so I know that these were the same. So $357.50. I know that taxes was the same. Walmart MasterCard was different though. Okay, so anything from bills that has Walmart MasterCard in it, I gotta add to that. So this is bills Netflix, this is bills Walmart MasterCard, so $4.93. Plus this one is $170. Plus nothing there. Bills Walmart MasterCard, so plus $284. And I think that's it. Yeah, didn't put any on here, so. So Walmart MasterCard was actually $458.93. That's kind of annoying to have to do that, so I'm curious if I take my spent from bills, so I spent $766.31, and if I subtract the $307.38, that should give me this number, right? $458.93. Okay, so that'll be a little bit easier. So I'll remember to do that next time. So this amount changed. Okay, so let's go through. So we're gonna go 1701.52. These numbers are all the same except for this one, so we're just gonna add the 170. So this was our actual income. Okay, so then we're gonna subtract the $307.38. So $1,564.14 is what we're left with there. Okay, I'm gonna put this on memory. So let's see, we're gonna add this up. So 44.10 plus 59.17 is 525 plus 143.41. Okay, so 251.93. Okay, so we're gonna go memory recall minus 251.93. So this is what we were left with after our envelopes. So 1312.21. This would have stayed the same. So we're gonna minus 407. So this is with 905.21. Okay, this would have changed again, so I'm going to put this number on memory now. So we're going to add $458.93 plus the 75. So this, we actually spent $533.93. So we're going to bring back this number. Ooh, I guess putting something else on memory adds it, I'm going to assume. So let's go 905.21 minus $533.93. So we had $371.28 left over here. Okay, so I know that my cushion is 100. Not sure how I did this last time. Okay, I'm going to keep the benefits the same. So 58.14. So then if I subtract 158.14 from this, this will give me what my rollover actually was. So $213.14, because technically this money is spoken for. So I'm classifying that as spent here, even though it technically wasn't. So this is how much I actually had left over. At least I think that's how I did it last time. Let me just check. Yeah, that's what I did last time. And then, so this should still be 371.28, right? And with 0 left over. I'm just gonna double check that. So 58.14 plus 100 plus 213.14, 371.28. Yeah. Okay, so that's good there. I like doing it this way. It is so much easier. I feel a lot more calm having it this way. I like being able to look back here, and then I think when I go and close the month, which is what I'm going to do next, I think it's going to be a lot easier. So I am really, really excited to do that, because most of my information I can just pull off of these two sheets, my 2 paycheck sheets, and I should have everything I need there. I do want to, I know this video is going to be a little bit longer because I do want to do something a little bit extra. Okay, so I was talking about this app last time. It's the spending tracker app. I am loving it. There is a couple flaws that I've noticed, so it's just going to load here. So for example, right now it's telling me I have minus 160.45 cents because it's going by the month of May. So with budgeting the way that I do, it's not very accurate. However, I only plan on budgeting 1 paycheck at a time with this. So after this paycheck, so after I'm done closing everything out, I'm going to go through and delete all of the information off of here and start over. So when I go to 2021, this is my actual. So this is just going by cash. So between all accounts, I should have $160.45, and I think that was actually wrong, right? Oh, it's going by May again here. Let's see. So switch that to yearly. Yeah, so it's telling me the same here that I should have 371.28. I actually have 376.28, but I'm just curious on how accurate these numbers are, because I would like to know if in the future if I could just take numbers off of here. So I'm just gonna compare these two, for example. So let's go into transactions. Let's start with lunch money. So it tells me here that I spent $44.10 in lunch money, which is what I have. So that one worked. Let's go to groceries next. So it tells me here that I spent $59.17, which I did. Let's see, next is takeout. Where is that? Here. It's $5.25, yep. Miscellaneous, $143.41, yep. Bills. So it looks like as long as I'm tracking this right, yeah, that's right too. It looks like as long as I'm tracking this right, I can just get my numbers directly off of here, which is awesome. It would save me from having to go through and add everything by hand. So as long as I'm keeping this and my budget the exact same, then it's going to make my life easier. And the one thing that I like about this, I know that some people might not feel like they can trust technology, but this seems pretty accurate. So this is going to be more motivation to keep my budget up to par, because it's going to save me more work in the long run if I do it this way. And I am not going to lie, I am a lazy person. If I can find an easy way to do things, I will. My coworkers call it convenient laziness or something like that. I can't remember. Either way, if I can make this process easier for myself, then I would like to. So it looks like for my spent, that's accurate. Let's look at income. So if I go Okay, so let's see if the accounts are accurate. So basic savings, I'll change this to yearly. So it says I spent, oops, $576.38 out of basic savings, so that's accurate. Cash, not for May, I want yearly, that's gonna throw me off. So $865.45, so that's accurate. And then the last one is debit plus. So $58.41, so that's accurate too. That is awesome. It would be really easy to be able to do all of this way. I don't know if you guys would enjoy that though, if I was just grabbing numbers off of here. If you guys prefer me to do it I'm gonna call it the old school way of going through the paper and doing that, we can, but this would definitely be nice. I'm curious about my income though. Where does it tell me that? Okay, so let's go all accounts. Let's go reports, cash flow maybe. So if I go into all categories, it does give me my total income here. So because it's showing, this is all categories, all accounts. So this is everything that I spent this paycheck. So it's showing me my income, so my total income, which is the exact same number here, versus my spent, which is my exact same number here. It's showing me the total amount that I've spent. So that is awesome. It doesn't show me my incoming balance though, but I can always grab that by subtracting my total income from my starting balance and just doing that backwards if I wanted to. It's nice to know that I have this option, but again, I'm not sure if that's something that you guys want to see. Like, would it be boring if I just take numbers off of this for this? Or would you rather I go through everything the usual way? Let me know, because you guys are the ones watching videos, and I definitely don't want to be making videos that you guys don't really want to watch. So even if it is more convenient for me, I don't mind doing it the old way. It's just nice to know that I can fall back, or at least double check this way. I can at least double check my numbers. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. But other than that, I think that's everything for this video. I'm going to clean off my desk and get ready to close out my month, which I'm super excited for. So if you like this video, would you please give it a thumbs up? And if you'd like to see more content like this or support my channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and rang that notification bell. I think that's everything, and I'm going to go unsubscribe to Fortnite Crew so I don't get charged again. Alright guys, as always, take care, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!